Alrighty everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy back at it again with another one, and today is going to be about Predecessor. Now Predecessor is a third-person mobile made by Omega Studios that uses the assets of an ex-MOBA by the name of Paragon that was made by Epic Games a little while ago, and then Epic Games gave away those assets for free in hopes that someone will remake the game. Now with that out of the way, today's going to be more about a tutorial and or a guide to help people kind of get their foot in the door and knowing how to play this game effectively so you don't run into the problem of being reported when you generally didn't know kind of how to react to the game and everything it's about. Alright, first thing first, we load into the game, you're presented with a crest system. Under the name of each crest, the type of character that should be using that crest. So you got your mages, you got your less tanky supports, and you got your more tanky supports, and then your overall front line. Each crest will have a designated active that can either make or break a fight, so please do not forget to use it because they can 100% make or break a fight. You're going to have 3 different active abilities within each crest. So depending on the character you're using and the type of playstyle that you have, you will, kind of choose whatever crest that you want within that actual crest line. So as you can see here, I'm currently choosing my starter item. I do not recommend that you guys kind of dive into the item system yet, as it can get very convoluted. So the auto buy system, while it is not perfect, it is most likely going to be your better option while you learn more of the mechanics of the game, and then you can kind of dive more into that said element of the game, which is kind of building your own build and kind of knowing what the items do and how to counter them. After choosing your crest, you're going to want to figure out which lane you are going to be going into, and the easiest way to find that out is by looking at the mini-map and seeing the rotation of the buffs. One side will have the gold buff, which is for the carry and the support lane, while the other has the green buff and is for the off lane, and the middle and jungle is kind of self-explanatory. Now that you're in lane, you're going to want to figure out the person that you're fighting against, and usually when the kind of start screen, you're going to be able to see who you're fighting against by the person who's either above or below your character. And some people can be more aggressive, like this Steel here, but you got to be wary of the character that you are being and the character that the enemy is being, because some characters will have a stronger level 1, some will have a stronger level 2, and some will have a stronger level 3. So by knowing the strength of your character, you can tell by what point of the game I can start fighting and when will I have to sit back and kind of just farm minions and be a lot more passive. Now it's time to start farming some minions, and as you can see here, the minion will get to about a red health, and at that red health you can one hit them to execute them, and that's how you get the bonus gold and allow you to get that gold to get more items, to then get stronger, to then keep slapping these kids. One thing you gotta always remember, guys, is always be looking at your minimap. As you can see here, I'm going to be going back to base. Why? Because their jungler is not on the minimap, the off lane is alive and not on the minimap, and I am half health, which is a recipe for disaster. So as you can see, I backed just to be on the safe side, got my item, and I'm going back in a little bit stronger than I was before. Now that we are back in lane, guys, we're going to do the rinse and repeat cycle of farming minions, making sure we're watching our minimap, and being aware of the person that we are fighting against. And as you can see here, I made a crucial mistake by pulling Steel and his minions in, and early on in the game, guys, the minions do a lot of damage. So the minions are currently messing up my health. I'm going to have to make a tactical retreat, but as you can see, when the Steel backs up, I start walking forward. Why is that? Because I need to make sure that I am close enough to my minions to make sure I'm getting the XP from them killing the other minions. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where the enemy laner is starving you out of your minions, you're not able to go up and get minion kills, trying to avoid dying to the enemy laner, you can still sit back, soak up the XP, wait for your jungler to come and help you, and kind of keep yourself in the fight that way. You don't have to be getting minion kills all the time to, keep ahead of your opponent. You can still sit back, make sure you're putting your wards up, and wait for the jungler to come and help you, and you can farm your minions when the minions push into your tower. You just gotta make sure you're getting the last hits on your minions while they're coming into the tower. So kind of learn that timing rate in case of the fact that you're, kind of falling behind to the enemy laner. Also, when I mean stay back, I don't mean sit all the way back in your tower while your minions are all the way in the middle of the lane and you're not getting any XP. You're just going to fall behind. You're not going to be able to do anything whatsoever. And even when your jungler comes to gank, you're probably going to get both of you guys killed. You need to make sure you're staying close enough to your minions where you're seeing the blue little XP markers popping up, and you're soaking up a little bit of that XP to keep yourself in the game with at least having around the same level as your opponent. Yes, your opponent may have more minion kills than you, they may have more items than you, but at the end of the day, you're not dying to your opponent, you're still around the same level as your opponent, and you can still remain relevant within the game itself. Now, the things that I'm telling you they are going to take a little bit of time to learn. Do not get discouraged. That's one thing about this game, that when you get angry, when you get discouraged, you're going to start making a lot more mistakes. You got to keep yourself having a clear mind, and you'll be able to realize over time, you can watch your gameplay develop and realize how much better and better you're getting as the games go on. Do not fall into the toxicity. Do not fall into the negative attitude that other people may be having towards you. Just focus on your game, focus on not dying as much to the enemy laner, and focus on trying to keep yourself safe and farming up those minions when you can, and make sure you're soaking up that XP. And as you can see here, I just placed a ward down. Make sure you are always putting your wards down. I cannot stress enough how important wards are. Wards can literally stop you from dying in lane, because you can see the enemy jungler coming. You can leave and go back to your tower well before they even get into your lane, as long as you're putting your wards down. Wards are so important in this game, and it's sad to see that so many people do not use them, and it's a lot of the reasons why people are dying in lane way more than they need to be dying in lane, only due to the fact that they never had a ward placed down. So if one thing I can tell you is probably the most important tip out of everything, is to ward. Always ward whenever you can. Ward, as you can see, as I'm on PC again, the ward is my number 3 on my keyboard. I don't know what it is for the controller, so all the PlayStation guys, kind of take that within your account. Just look at whatever the position is on mine right now, and you'll be able to see from there and exactly when you'll be able to use it on your controller. But as of right now, just always try to remember to make sure you're putting down your wards as much as possible, and trust me, you'll be able to see that over time things will be able to get a lot easier for you. You'll be able to survive longer in lane due to that, and you won't be dying to the jungler as much. And overall, you'll start seeing your KDA getting better and better and better over time. And honestly, the wards by itself can probably be one of the main things to bring you into a new space of development and gameplay. It is crazy how important those wards are, and I cannot stress that enough. Alright, with the main things out of the way, guys, I want you guys to make sure that you are using the tools that are readily available for you to use, and those are the practice range and as well as the player verse AI. Do not be discouraged to use those, guys, because those tools can really help you improve your gameplay. As you can see right now, the gameplay that you've been watching is me in a player verse AI match, which is why it looks like it's super easy. But the reason for me being in this player verse AI was more about me actually learning the timing of my minion kills, and kind of getting my farming game up to be a little bit better without having to worry about ruining my overall MMR in the game. So you can use it as a practice to kind of make sure that you're getting your last hits on your minions and get better. Getting more CS means more gold, means more items, means a better player fight. Alright, so make sure you guys are utilizing those tools all in all. And even the practice range itself, you can use that to practice and try different builds on characters to kind of figure out what overall build you feel like you would enjoy most on a certain character, and those you can do that without having to go into a game, without having to anger anybody because you're not doing as well as you think you would be doing with that build. So make sure you guys are utilizing those practice tools, guys, and kind of improving your gameplay through there as well. The last thing I have for you guys is the item listing. You can read through all the items here and know exactly what they do and know how to help you get better in your gameplay. This is more for the people who have the auto buy feature taken off, because when you're making your own custom builds, you're going to have that auto buy feature taken off so you can actually spend the money on the items that you want and the ones that you choose. But this is more for the people that have the auto buy filter off, so you can look through all these items, know exactly what they do and how to counter them. You can also read all of the hero stats and read of all of the hero abilities and what they do, all right here on the main menu, guys. This is right before you even get into your party. You can just look through everything, read everything, and know exactly what they do. So before you even try to pick up a character, read what they do, read how to play them, and it can also help you survive in lane or in jungle, depending on what part of the game that you're going into, and it can help you further your gameplay and get better over time, as long as you know exactly what you're doing, right? So always utilize these tools, guys, and it will help you overall become a better player in Predecessor. Again, guys, remember to ward. Remember that just because you're behind in CS and the enemy may have 1 or 2 kills on you, the game is not over, guys. It is a team-based game, and anything can happen at any moment in time. One bad team fight can cost someone the entire game, so it can be 20 kills on the enemy team and you guys have 9. I've come back from worse games than that, guys. It's not over. All you got to do is hunker down and get your team together. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys take these tips and tricks and add them to your gameplay to become a better Predecessor player. And I wish you guys all the best, and remember, place down those freaking wards. I'm out.